Hello and welcome to episode number 45 of the TEW WWE Challenge Run. This is going to be the SmackDown episode for week 3, Friday, August 2020, as we are just 3 shows away from the 2-night SummerSlam extravaganza. Without any further ado, let's just jump straight into the show. Paige here. Paige comes out. She makes her first entrance. She's in her ring gear for the first time. Actually, no, she's not. She's just in her normal clothes. She's close to tears as the fans chant welcome back to her. And she explains that when she saw Edge return at the Royal Rumble, she started getting these ideas. So that's why she decided to become the general manager in the first place. As sort of a means to dip her toe back in the pool of being on the road and travelling with the roster again. And she has to thank Sasha and Bayley, after all. Because without their cowardly assault, she would never have actually gone to get her neck checked, because she'd have no reason to. She'd have had no excuse to go get her neck checked, so obviously it wouldn't have been done. So what they thought was them sending a message to her was actually them signing a death warrant. Because, and she goes, "I'm back," and then we get the cheer. She says, "At SummerSlam, I'm taking the SmackDown Women's Championship." Yeah, and the crowd goes wild. Paige's first promo back as an active wrestler. And since she's the GM, she can book that match for SummerSlam. 77. Fucking good random little match here. Cesaro defeated Elias in 7 minutes. Cesaro gets a 73, Elias a 63. And the IC title storyline advances. Cesaro takes the mic after the match. He says he heard everything that Sheamus said last week, and the feelings are reciprocated. However, with that being said, he's not going to go easy on his friend. He also worked 8 years to finally win the Intercontinental Championship, and if keeping it means stopping Sheamus' dream, then sorry fella, it has to be done. And Sheamus comes out, and he simply says, "I wouldn't have it any other way, fella," and they shake hands, so they know they're going to give each other their best at SummerSlam, and just like the good old days, they're going to hit each other hard and try and win that Intercontinental Championship. Kayla Baxton interview. She's with Otis, Mustafa Ali, and Drew Gulak. She asks them where their heads are, as they have to find a partner for an 8-man tag team match against the Hoss House later tonight. They say Gable's still nursing his injuries, so he can't be here tonight, but they are still searching hard for. And then they remember Dallas walks into frame. He gives Otis a big hug. It's like, "Otis, that was about 3 months ago. You saved my job in that match against Dolph Ziggler. And I told you on that day that I would always be here to repay you whenever you need me. So if you need a partner tonight, I'm your guy." And Otis is like, "Oh yeah!" And then Ali and Gulak sort of look at each other like, Bo, are we sure we want him? But they've got no other options at the minute, so it looks like Bo is going to be in that main event after all. Cynthia Crespo cuts a promo. She says she knows Paige. Well, she knows Paige isn't here, but she's busy, so she is here because we have seen her. So ignore that line. It was a mistake typing it up. So there's no GM to overrule her, since that's what we're going to do. Paige can't overrule her because she's obviously currently an active competitor because she's challenging for the women's title. And last week, the match ended in no contest, therefore, she can decide that neither the Usos or the New Day deserve to go to SummerSlam. Then Adam Pearce walks into frame, just like real life, he's going to be the sort of representative of the WWE Board of Directors. And he's like, this has been going for a long time now, you should know it's not going to be that easy. And since there's no general manager now because she's focusing on in-ring stuff, I have the power to make matches. So tonight, Metalik will face one of the New Day, and Lindsay will face one of the Usos. And if you don't want to face either team at SummerSlam, it's a simple task. Win both of those matches. And if they lose either match, that team will be going to SummerSlam. So also if the member of the New Day defeats Metalik, New Day will be going. If a member of the Usos defeats Lindsay, they'll be going. If they both win, it'll be a triple threat. If neither win, then there'll be no SmackDown Tag Team title match at SummerSlam. Which isn't the case, because the first match is a 59. Jimmy Uso defeats Lindsay Dorado with a super kick. They don't click, so that sort of made the match worse. Jimmy gets a 54, Vince a 42. The Forgotten cut a promo, and James Storm's like, what a surprise, the coward Rob Gronkowski is not here again. He's just using WWE to try and further his career. He's not actually focused on being a professional wrestler. He just wants to sort of get himself on the TV shows, get his name back still out in the public while he's on his off season of the NFL. That's not what WWE is. That's not what wrestling is. So if you've got the gut, Gronkowski, face me, James Storm, the Cowboy, at SummerSlam, and if I beat you, you're done. Your wrestling career is over before it even begins. So that is a very stern warning and challenge to the Gronk by the leader of the Forgotten, James Storm. Training video, Nikki and Alexa, they're training, and it's like Alexa's clearly trying her hardest to sort of like fight properly, but she's struggling, but Nikki's there to encourage her and says that this is fine, and that in a week she'll be progressing fine and she'll be ready to clean Sonya's clock inside the fight pit at SummerSlam. But Alexa seems a little bit skeptical. She seems in over her head. Sonya then has a match. She defeats Danny Jordan in 4 minutes by submission. They don't click either. 44 for Sonya, 20 for Danny Jordan. Again, she was not signed to AEW in the mods, so obviously I was allowed to pick her up, and I did so because she is one of my future wives. Dakota is in her locker room, and she's playing on her PlayStation or unnamed games console because of sponsorships, listening to a radio when Raquel comes into the room, and she brings her another tray of tea. Says last week she defeated Marika of J-Flow. Dakota says that it's a good thing she finally shut J-Flow up. But then the radio static pops up. We hear radio static and the radio cuts off. And then the music that was playing is cut out and replaced by the sound of a J-Flow song. And Dakota picks the radio up, she's like, ah! And she throws it at the wall in anger, breaking it to shut it up. And then Dakota sort of looks on in shock at what she just did. Raquel looks on in shock at what just happened. And then Dakota's like, bitch, go pick that up, I'm busy. So Dakota, enraged at the sound of a J-Flow song, and has ordered Raquel to pick it up. I've realised now I've sort of indirectly sort of gone basically the Britt Baker and Reba route with these two. I'm not against it because I think it's fine, and it's just a nice little mid-card feud for the women's tag titles. And I've just realised the similarities now, that's why I'm bringing it up, because yeah, maybe it was indirect, but yeah. Nakamura and Bivens come to the ring. Malcolm Bivens says that Mr. Nakamura has requested this time to tell Sami Zayn why he did what he did. And then Nakamura speaks in Japanese. He obviously explains himself in Japanese. And then Bivens, the translator, he's like, Shinsuke said that Sami Zayn is a loser. When Shinsuke Nakamura first came to NXT, he fought the real Sami Zayn. That's the Sami Zayn that put Nakamura on the map. That's the Sami Zayn he wanted to be best friends with. But this Sami Zayn is a loser, on his knees begging for friends. Well, Shinsuke is not on his knees, but he will stick them in Sami's face at SummerSlam. Very simple message, very simple explanation. Nakamura obviously wanted to use Sami Zayn to get ahead, but then decided, actually he's holding me back because he's not the Sami Zayn that I thought he was. The Sami Zayn that really put me on the map in my debut match in NXT.
Can't you see how your love's affecting our reality? Every time we're down, you can make it right, and that makes you larger than life. Can't you see how your love's affecting our reality? Every time we're down.
You get not a backstage promo, sort of like a phone-in promo where he's in a gym somewhere from Roman Reigns. He says he knows what Bray Wyatt is doing. He thinks he's sending a message, but all Roman wants is one thing. Tell the Fiend to show up at SummerSlam, and he'll find out where his strength really comes from. Believe that. A 70, that's very good, especially compared to the other one. Kofi Kingston defeats Grand Metalik in 13 minutes 5 seconds with Trouble in Paradise. He gets a 69, 55 for Metalik. So we will be getting the triple threat tag team match after all. New Day, Usos, Death from Above, SmackDown tag titles, SummerSlam. Bo Dallas makes his entrance for the main event. For the 8-man tag, he comes out first by himself, but he's ambushed by Braun, Tucker, Dabba-Kato, and Oba-Kanu, the entire Hoss House. And they just throw him around ringside and they beat him up, play him out of a power slam on the stage. Braun gets into the ring, or they all get to the ring, and Braun cuts a promo as Otis, Ali, and Gulak come out to check on him. And then Braun's like, wow, you found Bo Dallas. Good job, boys, a real game changer. But you know, I don't think he's going to make it to the 8-man tag. And the three faces look at each other, and they smile, and they're like, well, good job we have found someone else. Then they gesture to the back. And out comes Daniel Bryan. He's back, yes, 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 the audience goes crazy. And he will be the 8th man in this tag team main event. And at 75, Daniel Bryan, Drew Gulak, Otis and Ali defeated the entire Hoss House. Daniel Bryan pins Tucker with the running knee, getting his revenge on the man who ran him over a month ago. 29 for Dabba, 27 for Oba-Kanu, 56 for Tucker, 85 for Braun, 64 for Ali, 67 for Otis, 62 for Gulak, 83 for Bryan. And yeah, Bryan gets to the win over the man who ran him down. But that's not the end of the show. Yes, 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 the crowd's going wild, their hero's back, he's just scored the win. And then all 4 men, Bryan, Gulak, Ali and Otis all start doing yes chants. Before Bryan takes a mic, he's like, hey Braun, you thought you could keep me down? Well, guess what? I get back up. So you think someone like me can't beat someone like you? Well, then put your money where your mouth is and defend the Universal Championship at SummerSlam against Daniel Bryan. Yes, yes, yes. As the show goes off the air. 79, increased popularity in 10 regions. Again, I didn't check the restricted growth thing, but I will do it, hopefully, next time. Hello, post-editing Connell here, and I did not fucking do it again, so give me an F in the comments, boys, and maybe I'll remember it after Raw, hopefully, finally this time. But of course, all that matters more than the 79 rating is what you thought of the show. Do let me know what your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you next time for the Raw Go Home show for SummerSlam. See you then.